Look at your life right now. Look at the routine. You wake up to a sound that fills you with dread. You drag yourself out of bed, often before the sun has even considered rising. You sit in traffic or squeeze into a packed train, surrounded by hundreds of other people doing the exact same thing. You spend the best hours of your day, the hours when you have the most energy, the most focus, the most life in you, trading them for a paycheck. You do this to pay for a house you're barely in, a car that gets you to the job you hate, and food that you eat to get the energy to go back to the job you hate. You live for the weekend. You wait for Friday. You survive the week just to get 2 days of freedom, only to spend Sunday night filled with that familiar sinking feeling in your stomach, dreading Monday. This is the trap, the cycle, the machine that society designed to keep you tired, compliant, and distracted. They call it the rat race. But here is the question that keeps you up at night, the one that sits in the back of your mind, whispering to you in your quietest moments. Is this it? Is this what you worked so hard for? Is this the reward for all those years of homework, exams, and tuition fees? They told you to get a good education, get a good job, climb the ladder, and you did it. You followed the rules, you played the game, you did exactly what you were told. And yet here you are stuck, exhausted, and feeling like no matter how hard you run, you're still in the same place. You were told that school was the ticket to success. But what if school was actually the architect of your cage? What if the lessons you needed to build wealth, to gain freedom, to escape this cycle, were never even mentioned in a classroom? The system didn't fail you. It worked exactly as designed. It created a perfect employee, but it didn't create a free thinker, a wealth builder, or an owner. But it's not too late, because today we're going to dismantle the blueprint they gave you, and we are going to build a new one, a blueprint for escape. Welcome to Mind Goals. What the rat race really is. Before we can break out of the prison, we have to understand the walls. The rat race isn't just a buzzword. It's a financial state of being. It's the psychological condition where you are forced to work to survive, with no real surplus to create a life of meaning or freedom. Here's the arithmetic of the trap. You trade your time for money. You get paid, and then the money flows out just as fast as it came in. You pay the rent, the mortgage, the car note, the insurance, the utilities, the groceries, and the credit card bill. After all that, you might have a tiny sliver left over, which you spend on a treat, a nice dinner, a new gadget, a vacation, to medicate the pain of the 9 to 5. You are running as fast as you can, simply to stay in the same place. Any increase in your salary, that's just an excuse to upgrade your apartment, your car, or your spending habits. You don't get rich. You just get more expensive. You've been conditioned to think that the solution to financial stress is a bigger income, a better job, a higher title. But that's the illusion. That's how they keep you in the race. Because as long as you are focused on climbing the ladder, you are looking in the wrong direction. Climbing the ladder faster doesn't get you out of the building. It just makes you a faster runner on the wheel. The person making $50,000 a year is stressed. The person making $100,000 a year is stressed. The person making $200,000 a year is stressed. Do you know why? Because they are all relying on the same mechanism. They are all trading their time for money, and time is the one resource you cannot get back. The rat race is a trap of consumption. It's the relentless pursuit of more to fill a void that material things can't fill. You buy things you don't need, with money you don't have, to impress people you don't even like. Sound familiar? Why most people never escape. You think most people, given the choice, would want to escape. But the reality is, most people don't even see the door. And the ones who do see it often refuse to walk through it. Why? Because escaping the rat race requires a level of discomfort that most people are terrified of. It's easier to stay in a familiar misery than to venture into an unfamiliar freedom. The biggest reason people fail to escape isn't a lack of opportunity, it's a lack of risk tolerance. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the golden handcuffs. You see, when you get a raise, you upgrade your lifestyle. You buy a nicer car, you take a more expensive vacation. Your needs increase to match your income. When you finally consider leaving the rat race to start a business or pursue a different path, you look at your lifestyle and think, I can't afford to take that risk. I have a mortgage. I have car payments. You have successfully bought yourself into a prison. The very things you bought to make yourself happy are now the chains that hold you in the job you hate. And then there's the psychology of comparison. The media and social networks show you a curated highlight reel of everyone else's success. You see the 20-year-old on Instagram selling courses and driving a Lamborghini, and you think, what's the point? It feels like the game is rigged. But what you don't see is the grind, the failure, the years of invisible work. You compare your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel, and it kills your momentum before you even start. But the deepest reason, the one that keeps you in the race, paralyzed and stuck, it's the fear of failure. We are taught that failure is bad, that mistakes are to be avoided at all costs. We are taught to be safe. But safe is just another word for stuck. If you aren't willing to fail, you aren't willing to grow. And if you aren't growing, you are dying. What school didn't teach you about money? The system is brilliant. It creates obedient workers. School teaches you to follow instructions, to sit quietly, to wait for permission, to trade your time for a grade, which is just a precursor to trading your time for a salary. But what did school teach you about wealth, about assets, about investing, about taxes, about the psychology of money? If you're lucky, you got a lecture about compound interest. But did they teach you how to actually apply it? Did they teach you how to build a business? Did they teach you that the rich don't work for money? They make money work for them. They taught you the Pythagorean theorem, but they didn't teach you how to file taxes. They taught you about the War of 1812, but they didn't teach you how to build a credit score. You were taught to be a great employee. You were never taught to be an owner. You were taught to be good with money by saving it, but saving is the slowest path to wealth. It's not enough to save, you have to invest. The system didn't want you to understand this, because if you understood how money works, you might not want to work for them. Let's break down the 5 most critical lessons they missed. Lesson number 1, learn to make money work for you. The employee works for money. The wealthy have money working for them. We are taught that a high income is the ultimate goal, but income is a trap. If you stop working, your income stops. You are a slave to your paycheck. An asset, on the other hand, is something that puts money in your pocket whether you are working or not. A business, real estate, stocks, intellectual property. The goal isn't to become a better worker. The goal is to become a better owner. You need to shift your focus from earning a salary to acquiring assets. Every dollar you earn should be seen as a soldier. You send it out into the world to fight for you, to bring back more soldiers. Stop saving your money. Start investing it. The bank pays you pennies while they lend your money out for mortgages and business loans and make billions. You're giving them your soldiers for free. Buy assets, not liabilities, not things that depreciate in value the moment you buy them. Lesson number 2, invest in skills, not status. They wanted you to look successful before you were successful. They wanted you to buy the nice car and the nice watch to project an image of success. Why? Because when you spend money on status, you have less money to invest in reality. When you buy a Mercedes, you're not just buying a car. You're buying a monthly payment that ensures you have to stay in the rat race. Successful people don't spend money on status. They spend money on skills. They invest in seminars, books, mentors, and education. They buy assets that increase their earning potential, not debts that trap them in their current job. What would happen if you took the money you were going to spend on a new car and invested it in yourself, in learning how to code, how to sell, how to write copy? The return on investment in yourself is infinite, because no one can take your skills away from you. The car will depreciate, the watch will break. Your knowledge is the only thing that can't be taxed or stolen. Lesson number 3, control your spending before increasing your income. You've probably heard the phrase, you need to earn more. But here's the truth that will change your life. If you can't manage what you have, you won't manage what you get. I've seen people making millions of dollars who are more broke than people making 50,000. Why? Because their lifestyle is inflated to match their income. When you get a raise, you buy a new car. When you get a promotion, you buy a bigger house. You're just running faster on the wheel. The rich person's trap. You need to create a gap between your income and your spending. That gap is where wealth is built. If you can live on 50% of your income while earning $100,000, you are wealthy. You have freedom. You can invest the rest. You can take risks. You can quit your job. Most people think the key to escaping the rat race is making more money. It's not. The key is keeping more of the money you already make. The discipline to delay gratification, to say no to the shiny new thing, is the foundation upon which empires are built. Lesson number 4, build assets, not just income. Most people focus on their job. They try to get a promotion. They try to get a raise, but a salary is a temporary solution. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if there is a recession? If your only source of income is your job, you are one bad week away from disaster. The wealthy build portfolios. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. You need to build a portfolio of assets, a side business, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, a digital product. The goal is to have multiple streams of income that come in regardless of whether you are at your desk or not. You don't have to quit your job right now, but you do have to start building your escape raft while you're still on the ship. Lesson number 5, think long-term instead of instantly. We live in a world of instant gratification. Amazon delivers in 2 days. TikTok delivers dopamine in 15 seconds. We are conditioned to expect results immediately. But wealth is not built in an instant. It is built in the quiet years. It's the $100 a month you invest in your 20s that becomes $1 million by the time you're 60. It's the book you read that gives you an idea that changes your life 5 years later. The stock market is a machine that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient. The compound effect. Saving and investing is a snowball. At the start, it's tiny. It feels like it's not moving, but if you keep pushing, it picks up weight, momentum, and speed. If you plant a tree today, you have to water it for years before you see shade. But eventually, you'll be able to sit under it for the rest of your life. Can you wait? Can you delay gratification? Or do you need the reward right now? The person who can tolerate more uncertainty and delay gratification longer than the average person will inevitably win. The mindset shift that changes everything. So, what is the one thing that changes everything? It's the belief that you are responsible. You can blame the economy. You can blame the government. You can blame your boss or your parents or the school system. And sure, all of those things are flawed. But blaming them won't put food on your table or freedom in your soul. The moment you take 100% responsibility for your financial life is the moment you become unstoppable. If you are broke, it's your fault. If you are stuck, it's your fault. If you haven't started investing, it's your fault. And yes, that realization is uncomfortable. It's scary. But it is also the most empowering realization you can have. Because if it's your fault, that means you have the power to fix it. You are not a victim of the economy. You are a victim of your own choices, and you can start making better choices today. You can choose to learn, you can choose to save, you can choose to invest, you can choose to build. Practical steps you can start today. So where do you start? Right now, today. Step 1. Track every single penny you spend for the next 30 days. You can't control what you don't measure. See where your money is going. You'll be shocked. Step 2. Find the gap. Cut the waste, the subscriptions you don't use, the coffee you buy every morning. That's $100 a month you can invest. That $100 at a 10% return over 30 years is $200,000. Is that coffee worth $250,000? Step 3. Automate your investments. Pay yourself first. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking to an investment account the day you get paid. Treat it like a bill, a freedom bill. Step 4. Buy a book instead of a gadget. Invest in your mind. Read The Psychology of Money. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Listen to podcasts. Learn the game before you play the game. Step 5. Start a side hustle. Find a problem you can solve. Start a blog. Start a YouTube channel. Start an Etsy store. Build something that is yours. You don't need $1 million to start. You just need to start. In conclusion, escaping the rat race isn't just about quitting your job. It's about reclaiming your soul. It's about waking up every morning with a sense of purpose, not dread. It's about loving the life you live. You were born free. You were born with a fire in your belly, with ambition, with dreams. Don't let a system designed to dim your light steal that from you. Start today, not tomorrow. Today, take one small step. Read that chapter, open that account, make that connection. Because the time will pass anyway. Whether you build your empire or whether you stay in the cubicle, the time will pass. So, what are you going to do with it? This is your life, it's your race, and you can choose to stop running. Thanks for watching. If this video inspired you to take control of your financial future, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Mind Goals for more content that changes the way you think about money and success. And comment below, what is one step you're going to take today to escape the rat race? I'll see you in the next one.